Hey, 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 it's your man Sham. Got to do this stream over again. Hopefully, I can, be able to, and have some folks on for a friendly dialogue. If not, that's okay. I'll just do my ramble. You know what I'm saying? I'll just simply do my ramble, and however folks take it is how they take it. It is what it is. So I'm just, give it like a few more seconds and stuff. And without further ado, what's up, everyone? This is your man Sham the Gamer, back again. Right now, I just got like a quick rant about, this whole kerfuffle about folks actually losing their minds over Assassin's Creed Shadows. You know what I'm saying? And part of it, it could be for a petty, part of it, you know, there is some legitimate points being made, while the other part is just folks just whining and crying about it. You know what I'm saying? And what's this whole kerfuffle about? It's about the fact that one of the protagonists, not the only one of the protagonists of the game is, is a foreigner. Yasuke, the Black Samurai. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that so many folks is pissed off and upset that the hero is not a full-blooded Japanese man around the time of Oda Nobunaga. You know, they all losing their minds, calling it woke. You know what I'm saying? And some of the, you know what I'm saying. I've been watching maybe like an hour or two, like some of the some of these gaming channels on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Man, you should take a look at some of the comment section, bro. Man, you to think you to think you to think that you to think that you accidentally stumble across a Klan rally, due to some of the off and blatantly disrespectful comments and borderline or sometimes flat out racist comments that was posted. You know what I'm saying? Some people were making jacked up comments like um, they can't wait to play as Fentanyl Floyd and some shit like that, taking a jab at um, the Floyd gentleman that was killed by that cop back in 2020. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna say it like this, and I'm gonna just go on my rant, and how folks take it is how they take it. A lot of you guys need to grow the fuck up. It's especially a lot of you, pasty folks. Y'all need to grow the fuck up. Y'all doing this over a game. First of all, y'all doing this over a game. One, like how lame can that be? How lame can that be? All this whining and crying over a fucking video game. Second of all, you're doing this over a game that has been notoriously known to put their little spin on history. Assassin's Creed. The whole series has been about putting their little spin on history. having assassins, how they're fictional assassins take out real everyday people, real people that actually existed. To my understanding, the final boss for out of the first or the second Assassin's Creed was Caesar Borgia or Cesare Borgia, however the hell you pronounce his name, and that your character was it Enzio, was tasked to take him out. Now has such a thing ever happened in history? Obviously not. You know what I'm saying? Assassin's Creed 3, where was that like a half Native American, half European mixed man. You know what I'm saying? Took it upon himself or was tasked with taking out the British. Has such a thing actually happened in history? Has such a document of such person ever existed? No, right? No, no one bats an eye. Hmm? Assassin's Creed Origins that take place in ancient Egypt, which were black, by the way. Because if you're talking about ancient Egypt before the Ptolemaic period, where Ptolemy and his crew came and conquered them, because it was only after that was when the Arabs took over, not before. If you're talking about pre-Ptolemaic, pre-Alexander the Great time era, those ancient Egyptians were black, like me. So all that, it was North African, Sub-Saharan. Listen, the migration to Sub-Saharan Africa came much, much later. If we're talking about BC era, before Alexander the Creep or Alexander the Great, there's nothing great about that damn degenerate. If we're talking about that, then if you're talking about before that era, they were black. The ancient Egyptians were black. But I still have to say this: during that time period, no, in that game, Assassin's Creed, what's that? Origins. One of the DLCs had that you was fighting Anubis. Has there any records of human beings actually fighting Egyptian deities? No. Okay then. What about Assassin's Creed? Odyssey? Where in that game, first, you went off and fight other soldiers. Then they put their spin on it and did a female Spartan. Now, yeah, sure, there wasn't a female Spartan around that time, but again, this is Ubisoft putting, a slight spin off of a game, of a fictional, of a fictional game, during like an actual time period. They're entitled to that. So now here comes Assassin's Creed's Shadows, and because the gaming studio decided to go with the decision to make Yasuke, the Black Samurai, as the protagonist, everybody loses their fucking mind. Oh, he was only dead for a year. Oh, he was just a servant to Nobunaga. He never saw war. But yet there's other documents that said that he did saw war. He did saw combat. What are y'all talking about? Hmm? 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 You know what I'm saying? He was just a slave. The point is, even if it was true that he didn't see combat, he was just a servant, this, that, and the third, Ubisoft had the fucking right to expand upon someone's story the way they fucking wish. Again, like I said, nobody took out Cesare Borgia. But in the early Assassin's Creed game, you was tasked to kill him, and he was one of the out of the first and second game, he was the final boss. Okay then. The whole point of the Assassin's Creed series was to put their little spin on history. You know what I'm saying? To take out certain, I guess, like high value targets, and probably like, probably to alter, probably alter history, or alter um, whatever direction that the folks was heading to, whatever direction that the culture, the society was heading to. To strike from the shadows, take out wicked people, take out high value targets. That's the whole point of the game. And yeah, you know, I give the detractors that there's so many other notable samurais they could have did the game of. Did games of Hanzo Hattori, um, Musashi. You know what I'm saying? So on and so forth. But the whole point is this: the Japanese have been making. My point is this: the Japanese have making samurai games about the Nobunaga era for generations. Why can't they make their own heroes? Why can't make some of those heroes? You know what I'm saying? Make a game surrounding them. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times they will make games about that time period and put fictional characters in the game as the main character instead of people that actually exist around that time period. But because Assassin's Creed did that, because again, and I respect their decision for that, because it's like, yo, there's been hundreds, if not thousands, of samurai games out there with a Japanese protagonist. Because Ubisoft decided to go the extra mile. Not even go the extra mile, to think outside the box and do something that kind of has never been done before. Everyone lose their shit. Everyone want to cry foul. Everyone want to cry woke. Even some of the Japanese is talking about culture appropriation, which is like, y'all really don't want to fucking go there. Y'all really don't want to fucking go there. Because check this out. A lot of Japanese culture has been heavily influenced by black culture. And a lot of these Japanese animes, uh, movies, dramas and stuff like that, a lot of their music has, if you really sit down and listen to it, has been heavily influenced by funk, by funk, by rock and roll, by R&B, and even hip hop. Last time I checked, none of those four genres started in Japan. They all started in the West by folks that look like me. Oh, what about rock and roll? Rock and roll was talking about Chuck Berry, a black man. Blues was started by black folks. R&B was started with black folks. Hip hop was started by black folks. Matter of fact, they got Asian battle rappers now. They got entire battle rapping leagues in Asia. Last time I checked, battle rapping, when you talk about beating somebody up or deleting somebody with a pew pew, last time I checked, that didn't start in Asia. In fact, in Japan, there's a heavily, there's like a niche where there's a bunch of folks that mimic Western culture. So for those of you on the net that's crying about cultural appropriation and you're from Asia, listen, and that's not just for the Japanese. That's for Taiwanese, that's for Chinese, that's folks from Hong Kong, that's folks from the Philippines, etc., etc. A lot of y'all music was heavily influenced by black culture. last time I checked, prior to maybe the 70s or 80s, listen to our music back then or not. Listen, none of y'all music wasn't sound like R&B. None of y'all was rapping. None of y'all was playing electric guitar. So let's cut the crap, shall we? In fact, and there's one last example, and then we'll move on. If I decide to upload this to YouTube, which I should, because come to find out, a lot of folks in Japan watch my videos. There's a song that come out in the 80s from brother Bernard Wright, rest in peace. I think he passed like last year or the year before. And the song, songs "Who Do You Love?" Who do you love? God, I'm in love with you. Are you sure? I do what I gotta do. Who do you... That song. When the song was released, it released over here. Don't you know, BS you not, that Japan released that same, a Japanese artist released the song in Japan with that same instrumental. Boom, 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 boom. But they switch it up to for the chorus part. By the time you get to the hook of the chorus, they put their little spin on it. But then when they go right back to the top, it's boom, boom, boom. And anyone with a musical ear, I'm like, yo, did they rip off Bernard Wright? Like, it's all right, who do you love? Right, exactly. Isn't that cultural appropriation? And anyone who knows anything about Bernard Wright, he was a musical prodigy. He done got to copy off nobody or appropriate nobody for shit. But folks was copying him, right? Back in the 80s. This was from the 80s. I forgot what year the song came out. I want to say 85 or 86, but I could be wrong. It came out in the 80s. That same year, a Japanese female artist released a song having the same instrumental. Boom, 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 boom. But towards the chorus, they switched it. Towards the chorus, they changed it and put a little Japanese spin on it. I mean, the entire song was in Japanese, but like towards the chorus, they changed it and put their little spin on it. But when they go back to the top, it's the same music instrumental as Bernard Wright's "Who Do You Love?" I say all that to say this: Japanese culture has been heavily influenced by black culture for generations. Please do not come with that cultural appropriation shit, because y'all mad that Ubisoft decided to go in the direction of making an actual person that actually existed in Japanese around that time as a protagonist. Don't come with that shit. Please don't come with that shit. Please do not come with that shit. Please do not come with that shit. Because one thing about black folks, we keep receipts. Please do not come with that shit. Y'all been appropriating black folks for generations. I just gave you the example with Bernard Wright, "Who Do You Love?" And anyone know about Bernard Wright, he was a musical prodigy. Very skilled in music. Played multiple instruments. He had no reason to copy or imitate someone from another fucking culture. So cut the shit. Hoodek Shinobi, hey, peace, brother, how you doing? Now let's give my take on a lot of these folks whining and crying about Assassin's Creed Origins, Shadows. I went on YouTube last night, which I really shouldn't have did that, man. But I watched maybe 10 videos of many white folks whining and crying, about the fact that they decided to make a black, a person that actually existed around that time, the main character. And for me, to me, I don't see this pandering or being woke anything. I see it as Ubisoft thinking outside the box, because it's never been done before. There's so many games that have been made around that time period that had Oda Nobunaga as a protagonist, Not once, you know what I'm saying? Not once, not protagonist, antagonist, the main bad guy. Not once had they ever had, you know, Yasuke as a main character or someone that has a major role. And said, real talk, man. Nah, it's cool. I haven't seen it yet, but because you speaking on it, yeah, you gotta look at it. But my thing is, be careful with the comments, man. The comments is cancer. You know, regardless of what page, like 99, dude, there's so many folks whining and crying about that. You want what the wild thing about it is? It's really white folks that's really whining about it than the Japanese. Now, yeah, on the Assassin's Creed Japan, you know, yeah, you got a lot of folks complaining in Japanese, but on the American pages, it's many white folks complaining. But you want the funny thing is, when Neo 1 came out and the main character, was a white guy, a white samurai, no one said shit, right? Oh, it's a fictional game, so it's Assassin's Creed. The entire saga, the entire game is a fictional game, depending on certain historical events. But they put their little spin on it where they have fictional assassins take out real people. You understand what I'm saying? And my whole point is this, man. Like for everyone who, I'm gonna say it like this: we live in a multi-diverse culture, and it's really. We're no longer in the 70s, we're no longer the 80s, and we're no longer the 90s. So, all you Caucasian and even some of you Asian folks, y'all gonna have to learn to cope with the fact that you're not the main character anymore. You ain't the star of the show anymore. Where am I getting at? The whole thing where every time a game or a movie comes out and the main character is not a white Caucasian male or Asian male, automatically they cry woke, DEI, and some other dumb shit. To the point where they you know what I'm saying, they can't do, no video game or movie studios can't do nothing without folks crying that. Like, how lame and pathetic can you be? So whenever your folks is the star of the show, it's all good, but God forbid a movie come out and it's a hetero black man as the main character, is automatically woke. Now get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? And listen, me personally, I don't see it as woke. I don't see the move as a woke move. It's just Ubisoft decided to put their little spin on it. Again, how many games have we actually had where, someone that was in what's the name, someone that was a foreigner in a strange land was actually the main character. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he was only there for 3 years and served 1 year under Nobunaga. Okay, and do you know how many video games I played where the entire events took place within a day? You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about games where you read a storyline, the whole event took place within a day. The whole events of the game took place within 2 weeks, 6 months. So now, the whole fact of centering the game around someone who been around Nobunaga for like a year and a couple months, all of a sudden that's far-fetched now. Like, man, stop. Let me read the comments. I said, I'm forever supporting my people, but I can't stand by and not support brothers and sisters. I don't care what time period. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. You understand what I'm saying? Ethnicity shouldn't define how games should be introduced to a world, because majority of games are fictional, but events are sometimes historical. Yes, and that's exactly right. That's exactly right. But even with that, again, every video game company has the right to put their slight spin on history. You know what I'm saying? You know how many World War II games that there have been where they put their spin on it that you know you know the man from Germany with the small mustache where him and his crew won. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, there's been like a couple. Was it Modern Warfare? Was it 3 or 4? Where they have an entire DLC where the folks, entire DLC where you know it's a zombie version of the folks that serve under the man with the small mustache from Germany. I don't want to say his name because I don't want to get banned. You know what I'm saying? Now, last time I checked, there was no zombie there was no zombie person. There was no zombie folks of people from 1940s Germany ever existed. So, which means what? That video games company where Treyarch, Capcom, Ubisoft, EA have their right to put their little slice spin on certain things. You know what I'm saying? Folks are complaining the fact that allegedly, and now they claim, oh, he was never a samurai, oh, blah, blah, blah. Okay, always rewriting history. That's the entire point of Assassin's Creed, to rewrite history. Take out certain historical figures to steer, to steer history from going one way into another. Isn't that the whole point of the series? Or at least to take out certain targets where the way how history went to ensure that it goes that way. But when you look up history, no such folks existed. You know what I'm saying? No such assassins organization existed that helped take people out to ensure that this happened or that happened. You understand what I'm saying? But because we're now in feudal Japan, and now we have a black samurai, and that in their story they have it where he helps, I don't know, maybe overthrow Nobunaga, or I don't know, help a system or what. Now everybody want to cry foul. You know what I'm saying? But my main point is this, man. Number one, listen, white folks, Asian folks, understand this. You're not the main characters in life anymore. Deal with it. Like anything that's not any movie, any video game. All right, yeah, listen. The whole, tired of seeing, the rainbow movement. The hey, folks being tossed and everything. No complaints about. You got me on that. You got me on that. I'm sick of seeing it too, because not everybody, is part of that rainbow mafia. You know what I'm saying? But within the same vein, it's like, yo, not everybody in the world is Caucasian either. Like, why does every movie, every video game gotta have a Caucasian protagonist? Why they gotta have an Asian protagonist? Why is it whenever the mere thought of a black protagonist, a black man or black woman, or even a woman protagonist, is automatically deemed as woke? You know what I'm saying? Y'all need to get over yourselves and touch grass. Go outside and touch some grass, because it really ain't that serious. It really ain't that damn serious. And if anything, I hope the game does sell out, and I hope it does really well. You know what I'm saying? And for the one viewer, Hood Shinobi, I don't know if you're still there, but I'm gonna give a quick testimony of how, because whenever these folks can't get their way, they cry that go woke, go broke bullshit, right? I'm gonna give a quick testimony of when they was talking that shit and it failed miserably. 2019, Mortal Kombat 11. When the game first came out, a lot of folks was pissed about Jax's arcade ending, to the point where there was crying that go woke, go broke bullshit, and wanted to and threatened to boycott the game. Now, a little backstory. In Mortal Kombat 11, the final boss is a Titan, which is supposed to be a level higher than an Elder God, named Kronika, which is a female. She has a powerful tool, which is an hourglass, and with it she could use to rewind time and shape time however she wills. And that when you play arcade mode, and whatever character that you use to defeat her, you know what I'm saying, they use she dies, but the hourglass remain, and whatever character you use the hourglass to shape time as they see fit. Now you have some folks like Sub-Zero who use time to bring back his brother Bihan, from the dead, where they're now both human. They're now both human again. Some people use the hourglass to control the world, to control the realms and stuff like that. In Jax's arcade ending, he uses the hourglass to go back in time and single-handedly undo the transatlantic slave trade, which in turns caused Africa to become like a Wakanda, basically. And like the final clip in the ending, it shows that Jax, his daughter Jackie, and his wife, I guess, according to the renewed timeline, that she lives, because according to the Mortal Kombat X and Mortal Kombat 11 timeline, I think she passes away. I guess while Jackie was still young, but this timeline she lives. So the final cutscene was all three of them like wrapped in kente cloth, chilling in Africa, living their lives, due to the fact that Jax single-handedly undid the transatlantic slave trade. Don't you know? So many of them pasty people cried and whined about that. Talk about NetherRealm going woke and all that shit. And they was talking that go woke and go broke shit. But you think that shit work? Nope. Because when you check the stats, Mortal Kombat 11 turned out to be one of the highest selling Mortal Kombat game of all time. Look it up. I think out of one or two, what was the highest selling Mortal Kombat game. But I think in third place is Mortal Kombat 11. One of the highest Mortal Kombat selling games of all time. Sold millions. And that was before and after the Aftermath DLC. Someone for the go woke, go broke stuff, huh? But I say all that to say this. Like a lot of these, I gotta say it, racist folks that get tight whenever a black man get put in a position of power, or a movie or a game ain't centered around them and stuff. You know what I'm saying? They quick to cry that go woke nonsense. And I'm here to tell you, not every time that because you're upset that the protagonist is a black guy or a woman or stuff like that, not every time you can expect the series to fail. You understand what I'm saying? And don't even try to add in Disney or because the complete flop that Disney is doing with the fact that now everything is all women, there's no men and stuff like that. That's something different. That's something different. But if you're talking about like a movie here, a movie there, a game here, a game there, and the protagonist just happens to be female or happens to be a black man, that's not woke. You know what I'm saying? A lot of Marvel stuff flopped because, yeah, they was making everything about women, no men, you know what I'm saying? Like Captain Marvel, heard Brie Larson's a bitch on and off camera. Of course a movie gonna flop. Of course a movie's gonna flop. And I heard it wasn't well written either. She-Hulk was a bunch of folly. Of course it's gonna flop. Star Wars, come on, now the recent Star Wars, another one, the Mary Sueism, the Mary Sueism. Another reason why a lot of the woke games are failing. Yeah, the Mary Sueism. You put a 120-pound female in a game with no form of training or anything, and expect her to be kicked and have a kicking men's ass that have been trained all their life. Yeah, of course, folks not gonna sit well with that. But here's the thing: when exactly have you seen a game where the black protagonist, where a Mary Sueism came in? Never. Never. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the game or the movie written by Japanese, by white folks, or even black folks. They almost never wrote a black Mary Sue. You know what I'm saying? A black man Mary Sue for that matter. You know what I'm saying? But that's just it. Let me just wrap it up. Again, number one, everything not about white folks anymore. You know what I'm saying? You're just gonna have to understand that certain games and movie companies just gonna make a game where the main character doesn't look like you. Hope. For the Japanese, I mean, yeah, I get your plight. Yeah, you might want, a game where you see one of your own as a protagonist. I get that, but isn't the majority of Japanese companies are in Japan? Video game companies are in Japan? How many samurai games we got throughout the generations? Dynasty Warriors? Onimusha? Like, I'm just saying, Dynasty Warriors, the Onimusha series, Wulong, Sengoku. Okay, Ghost of Tsushima was made by American Studio. Okay, cool. Whoopee. And that's another thing. Yeah, I heard great things about Ghost of Tsushima and stuff like that, but my whole thing is this. Not everybody who decides to make a game about samurais gotta follow their lead. So, excuse Ubisoft for decide to, you know what, you see you gonna go this way, but we're gonna go this way. Oh, you see I went that way, we're gonna go this way. They have every right to do so. You know what I'm saying? They have every right to do so. That's just what studios do. Come up with creative stories. That's number one. Number two, why y'all getting mad about a fictional series? A fictional game about a fictional series where assassins have been used to either change history or ensure that history goes the way that it went. Whereas if you look up actual history, no such assassin or assassins existed. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a fictional game about a fictional assassins or organization. Okay, we're surrounded by a real person. Okay, and they have you right to write that person how do you write it? Like, are you serious right now? My point is, I really don't see the big deal of this shit. I really don't. Hey, the Japanese want a samurai game with a Japanese protagonist. Wait till one of the American or the Japanese company make another samurai game. Come on, it's like it's been a million of them already, and it's pretty much gonna be a million more. Like, are you like, you know what I'm saying? And another thing for you black gamers out there, understand this: I hope you're paying close attention. Because some of these non-black gamers, they could be cool and all, but when stuff like this come out, they show their true colors. They show their true colors. Man, I should have wrote down a list of some of the borderline racist, if not the flat out racist comments that I saw and commentary that I heard. And that's another thing that you guys need to understand. Going forward, for the movie and video game industry, anytime a black protagonist or a black character get added in anything, they automatically gonna call it woke. They automatically gonna call it woke off top. And the big irony, irony of it all is, black folks started using the term woke. And our definition of woke was completely different from what the fuck it got transformed into. It's like night and day. But we want to talk about cultural appropriation though. So understand this, black folks. Black gamers, there's a lot of black gamers on Twitch and on YouTube. Understand this. Just sit back and watch all these comments. Yeah, I understand the Japanese have every right to complain the fact that a game that takes place in the country and the protagonist doesn't look like them. I get that. But where are all these American comments coming from? Talking wild sideways, wild greasy about a black protagonist of a man who actually existed. Whether he was just an armor bearer, whether he saw combat or not, makes no fucking difference. You wanna know why? Because every video game company loves to put their own spin on characters that actually existed. What wasn't Hormaru from Samurai Showdown was about an actual character that existed? Or Jubei? Right. Were they throwing projectiles with their samurai swords back then? Of course not. Exactly. So let every video game company put their own spin on certain characters. That's just it. And if a lot of you folks that claim not to be racist, we see you. We see you. We see you. And all I gotta say is cope and seethe. So with that being said, this is Sham the Gamer signing off. I should be on tonight. I should be on Twitch tonight, either maybe like at least after midnight. If not, maybe like 4 or 5 in the morning EST. For those who are night owls, who's up that late, I'll be playing Street Fighter 6. Come get this work. Come get this work. I'll be using Kimberly too, which is another character a lot of these damn racists lost their fucking mind when she got revealed. Come get this work. I'll be using Kimberly. I'll be busting your asses and wait for y'all fucking hate mail. It is what it is. It's a new world. It's a new world, and guess what? The protagonist is not going to always be Caucasian or Asian. It is what it is. Cope and seethe. It's your brother Sham Kasad signing off, saying peace, and I'll see you guys on the next one.